The question is, my company does not talk much about experience. What are some ways I can start to engage my team slash leadership on this topic?
That's a great question. And experience is one of those things. It's a buzzword, right? But as we think about that, as you are going through a requirements process, as you're going through designing any piece of technology or putting anything in, just asking the question about how is that going to impact? How does that impact the people that use it? You're starting to bring the experience into the conversation. And I'll just quickly tell you, I spent a lot of years working with Disney. And anytime Disney does anything at all that has anything to do with an employee or or a customer, somebody writes on the whiteboard, how does that impact experience? It's just a rhythm that sort of brings it to top of mind. So any of those kind of things could potentially help there.
Fantastic. Another question has come in. You mentioned moments that matter. How do you identify the key moments in an experience that matter the most?
Yeah, let me take that one, Joan. What a tremendous question, because it is truly, truly powerful to think about anchoring back to that point. And I think that in summary, it's going to come down to data provides insights. And think about what we talked a little bit about is if you are understanding the entire life cycle of the experience of all of your stakeholders, you want to take advantage of the insights that are coming out of the data from a holistic view. You may have voice of the customer insights and data that you can connect. You may have feedback, focus groups, and other things. Comprehensive inputs aligns to taking the data and connecting that back to those moments. Think about the purchase journey. Where are the places at which you're making those decision points? In a digital experience or an application or a sign up, where are the abandonments happening, and understand where those come from. So it's truly about moments that matter will be different. They will also be different for your different personas or even different customer segments. They'll be different in a ecosystem. So it's really about unpacking that in a way that is trying to identify where are the value drivers for each of the major steps of that process.
Well, thanks for that, Bryan. And I got one more. I hear mostly about experience in the term of UX. What's the difference between a customer experience and a user experience?
It's another good question. As we think about user experience, of course, right? That's the interface of how we interact with technology and that interface between us. But if we think about the customer's experience or the employee's experience, think of that as all of the moments, the on in interacting with technology, as well as the moments in between that gets us from a point A to a point B, whether that be a process or a value chain. And thinking about that, that can be online, that can be offline, right? So if we think about a customer experience, we might have things where people are going to a healthcare provider and doing things with an app. If we think about an employee experience, it could be the I'm doing something onto a system and then swivel chair, as I like to call it, and handing that piece of paper over to, the gentleman behind me. And it's thinking about that experience end to end and how can you automate or remove friction, but leave in the elements where the humanity needs to remain in the experience.